Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about having a Leo Sun and Sagittarius Moon in the natal chart. Now, I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. I'm going to be talking about people that have the Leo Sun and Sagittarius Moon combination in their natal chart. People that have a Leo Sun and Sagittarius Moon. Now, first off, the basic character, which is the sun, and in this case, the sun being in Leo, it can be very flamboyant, gregarious, extravagant, uh, generous, courageous, and attention-seeking. And this is an unconscious side, which is the moon. And the moon in this case, being in Sagittarius, can be very expansive, optimistic, outdoorsy, adventurous, exuberant, and even very blunt. And this could be a combination that could be very a lot of fortitude and courage. Leo Sun, has a lot of the basic character, can have fortitude and courage. And in the Sagittarius Moon, their responses can be downright fearless. This could be a person that could really be that that soldier, that prototypical military person. It's somebody that could be very fiery as well, to say the absolute least. This combination can have a very fiery temperament. But keep in mind, it's also it's important to look at contraindicators and modifying influences in the natal chart. Like if somebody has a Leo Sun and Sagittarius Moon, let's say they have a Pisces ascendant, they could come across as more passive and timid, on a first impression, and they're going to be a little bit less outgoing than the typical Leo Sun or Sagittarius Moon combination. They are, because Pisces rising can come across again, being very passive, timid, and may even be, reclusive and isolate themselves from, confrontation. And anyway, this also could be, when you look at this combination as well, this person may bring that Leo ferocity and confidence into something, Sagittarius related, such as sports, publishing, advertising, adventure, exploration, college teaching, theology, as some examples. In the Leo Sun, they want to shine, get attention, be praised, lauded for their efforts. And the Sagittarius Moon, they need, the Moon is about our emotional needs. And the Sagittarius Moon needs to expand their horizons, travel abroad, the outdoors, global communication. And I thought it was interesting. I had a friend of mine, way back many years ago. He was a Leo Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and had Gemini rising, and it seemed like he just thrived on working on auto mechanics, outside a lot. And I think a lot of that, Leo Sun, they want to be praised and be lauded. I think he wanted that, that attention. And the Sagittarius Moon can be enamored with the outdoors, and the Gemini rising could flourish in things that require manual dexterity. So it looked like this was all that energy kind of rolled into one with him. But anyway, now the other thing, another thing I want to talk about now, the true self, which is the sun. And in this case, the sun being in Leo can be extroverted, extravagant, boastful, and very confident, have much self-assuredness. And the inner self, which is the moon. The moon is that inner personality. In this case, being Sagittarius, can be very jocular, jovial, positive, enthusiastic, and exuberant. The sun in astrology reflects our drive and motivation, and this person may be very driven and motivated, which is the sun, and that could be to dominate, which is Leo, and may do so with more optimism, exuberance, enthusiasm, and joviality as well, which is Sagittarius. And this could be more harmonious if this is making a trine aspect. Now, a trine aspect in astrology is 120 degrees. I use a 10-degree orb if at least one personal planet is involved. And in this case, of course, you have two personal planets that are involved. And let's say if the Leo Sun is at 13 degrees and Sagittarius Moon is at 6 degrees, that would form a trine aspect between the Leo Sun and Sagittarius Moon. And the Leos, this could be, in that particular example, having the trine aspect with these two energies, two planets, the Leo Sun, that basic character, the basic sunny disposition, and the Sagittarius Moon, expansive optimism that could blend very well with each other. Again, this could be a very courageous combination, having the Sun being in Leo, which could have much courage and fortitude, and Sagittarius Moon can be very frank and fearless. And wanted to state that I understand Sagittarius Moon, they have their good qualities and bad, like all, many astrological placements, or most, I would say, at least. But the thing about it is, when you have, sad people talk about, the Gemini Moon having this dispassionate reasoning and often being cold or callous. But the thing about, keep in mind, the Sagittarius Moon can be very blunt to the point of demoralizing and demeaning somebody, because keep in mind the moon is about our feelings, and Sagittarius Moon doesn't always worry about what feelings that might be hurt from what they said. And this person could really put somebody down really quick and not really have have regard for their feelings being hurt. But anyway, also to keep in mind the Sun in astrology represents the biological father. The moon reflects the mother. If somebody has a Leo Sun, that could indicate that the biological father may be a Leo Sun, Moon, or ascendant, or embody those characteristics. If someone has a Sagittarius Moon, the mother may be a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or ascendant, or embody those traits. And remember too that it's also about the perception of these people. If somebody has a their Sun in Leo, they may perceive the father as someone that's has a lot of fortitude and courage, is very confident, magnanimous, generous, extroverted, but may also see the biological father as someone that could be arrogant and domineering. Someone with the Sagittarius Moon may perceive the mother as someone that's very adventurous, expansive, upbeat, optimistic, enthusiastic, but may also see the mother as someone that could be self-righteous, blunt, and even tactless. And if this is in a trine aspect, like what I was talking about before, that would increase the propensity of having the biological father and the mother being connected more during the person's life, and it could reduce the chances, I would say, of having a divorce or separation. But it's also important, of course, to look at the synastry between the mother and biological father's chart. And you could tell, we could see more about the compatibility that way with them. And again, this is just this could be that prototypical soldier. This would be somebody that would be very good, I would say, in the military or sports. Leo and Sagittarius, especially, I'd say Sagittarius, really has a connection with sports and the outdoors. This could be somebody that could really do well and shine, I would say, in some kind of sports outlet, or even just doing something, working outside. Sagittarius Moon may often feel like doing something outdoorsy, which wouldn't exclude sports. Leo Sun wants to dominate, and the Sagittarius Moon may be enamored with sports in the outdoors. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.